She was just there for the season.
Krew Season Podcast. We are back again. This is episode 114, I think. We're getting deep in the catalog.
You still on season 1, huh?
Yeah. Season 1. OT is in the building.
I'm here.
Y'all know Smooth in the motherfucking building. What's happening?
I'm D Trill AC. This is another episode of the Krew Season Podcast. And today we have two amazing guests with us. We have Miss Kelly.
Hi.
And we have Miss Nicole.
Hello.
From the Champagne Wives Podcast. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hey, y'all. hey.
What's happening?
Welcome to Krew Season, man. If y'all are not familiar with these ladies, y'all make sure y'all stop what y'all doing right now. Go type in on YouTube, Champagne Wives, Instagram, Champagne Wives, tap into their movement, man. It's a hell of a podcast.
Oh.
If you ain't following, I'm calling you out on it.
Do appreciate that. Yes.
You out on it.
Yeah, that's a fact. But just as a little, like we don't really have many guests on this pod. I don't know if y'all know or not.
We feel honored.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks so much for having us.
No problem at all. Yeah, I was I actually stumbled across y'all. I was on Instagram and I seen a clip and I was like, damn, like they making a lot of sense. And I don't mean to be misogynistic, right? But I don't really listen to women's podcasts like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
We talk about you gotta realize, like, 99%. That too.
My bad. He's starting out early.
Y'all take a different angle.
He starts so coming out the gate with it.
Dang.
But we got a lot of male listeners. Like, men think we're hilarious.
But most women podcasts are literally about nothing or sex.
Oh.
True. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So for you
Okay.
guys to have substance, that's
Okay, but we'll take that. That's our lane. That's our lane.
Our lane.
Yes,
It really is.
we're intentional about that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So that's what caught me on. So then how I am, like if I see something I like, I start going doing research. So I went to YouTube, I checked out a couple of podcasts in full, and I'm like, damn, this is a hell of a podcast, man. So maybe
you
want to
so
reach
I
out.
appreciate that, so much, especially coming from y'all because we've been watching y'all.
We've been stalking y'all.
Yeah. She was like, Krew Season. I'm like, what are you talking about, Nicole? She was like, Krew Season, go check it out. And I'm like, girl, stop it. She was just like, look. She was like, we got to collab with Krew Season. That's
For
it.
sure.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Look.
So this collab done been in the making for a minute. I'm glad to finally have y'all here. To get this thing started, man, I want y'all to just how did the idea of starting the pod come about?
Yeah. So do you want to kick us off?
I'll let you tell this part of the story. Go ahead.
Okay, so Nicole and I are neighbors. So first of all, we did not know each other prior to like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
This is a new friendship.
This is a very new friendship. So people are very shocked at that because of the chemistry that we have. But yeah, this is a very, very new friendship and a very new relationship. And so I am from the New Orleans area. So I didn't share that with you guys, but I'm from the New Orleans area. And Nicole is from Northeast Connecticut.
I'm from Connecticut.
Yeah, and
Oh,
so
very cold. Too cold for me.
cold.
For my liking.
So, and she also has a Jamaican roots, so her parents are Jamaican. But I'm just saying, like, there's so many differences between us because being from Louisiana, New Orleans has its own culture. She has her own culture, being an island girl, and so we first saw each other when I moved across the street from her, and so for the longest time, like I would just say hi. We would both just say hi and bye. Like she traveled for work, I traveled for work, and we would just say hi, pass each other by, and
that was
just go move on with our lives. And then COVID happened, and so she is a part of a sorority. And during COVID, when it was like someone's birthday, they would come and do like the parade outside of your house or whatever, a car parade. And so her line sisters did that for her. And so I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert extrovert. Like I can't be extroverted, but innately, like I am introverted. That's how I've been all my entire life.
Sound like me. I feel that.
Yeah, so that's me, but I have been forced to be extroverted.
Right.
So my daughter said, Mommy, come on, let's go outside and see what's going on, because she saw the cars, she heard the music, the signs, and I was just like, no, hard stop. Like, hard no. We're not.
We don't know these people.
We don't know these people. Like,
She ain't like me. I'm outside. What's up, baby? We're across the street.
what's going on? Like, I'm not a nosy neighbor, okay? So I told her no at first, and I was just like, you know what? She's young. She has cabin fever, probably. She, you know, like every other child,
baby
probably.
come out and play,
yeah,
child.
you know, hadn't been in school, so I was just like, okay, let's go see what's going on. So I took her outside. You know, waved to Nicole and told her happy birthday and watched her and her line sisters do their thing.
Did.
And after everything was done, I was like, you know, it's your birthday. I have some tequila inside, a very nice bottle of tequila. We can take shots. And so we
Say
did.
less.
I came outside with my husband and we took shots. And after that, we said, well, let's plan to meet up again and let's have like some sidewalk conversation. So we did that, and
which
it
was
like,
a thing
it was like
during
a happy
the pandemic,
hour.
right?
Yeah.
It was like, I know you, but I don't know you. So you're gonna be on your side of the street, and I'm gonna be on my side of the street.
Right.
Yeah.
Like cars might pass through. So that's what we did. Like a week later, we set up. She had her sports chair. I had my sports chair, and we just drank and we talked.
Yeah.
And we talked, and what should have been an hour conversation ended up being about a 4-hour conversation, getting bit up by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we
today
are.
with the whole
Yeah.
podcast.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope,
That's
man.
super dope.
For sure, I watching the pod, I would not have been able to tell y'all only knew each other for 2 years.
2 years.
And it's crazy because it was an intense kind of just 2-year period, especially when you think about the fact that we were all holed up for so long. And
Right.
so we lived across the street from each other. Our kids are of similar ages. And so we realized we have a whole bunch of mutual interests, and then our kids fell in love with each other too. And so the rest is history.
Yeah. So we became like the bubble family. So,
Yeah.
you know, you couldn't be around like your normal family.
Right.
So she became like family to me and my family. Her and her
Likewise.
family, sorry, became like
Likewise.
family to us. And we would all just kind of hang out together because we all knew that like we were quarantined together, basically.
And you weren't going to give me COVID.
And then when I did get COVID, I did give it to her.
Then when
That's
she
how much
gave me
risk I
COVID.
did catch COVID. She got it.
Wow.
Love you.
That's true friendship right there.
You too.
That's true friendship right there.
Right.
Straight up. But throughout this pod and situation, man, like y'all know now, like it's a bunch of hardships, it's a bunch of difficulties, like planning, scheduling, getting everybody on the same accord.
Yes.
Like, I just want y'all to speak to like what's been some of the hardships as far as keeping this pod going, because everybody feel like they can start a podcast.
Right.
Yes, that
Right.
part.
And there's so many people that start and stop, right?
Man.
Yeah.
And
Man.
the one thing we know to be true is that like you just got to keep going.
Right.
And so
Yes.
it's okay to take a break. It's okay if you need a creative reset, because there are times where both of us at different times hit walls. Like we're fortunate in that it's us, right? So it's like I can go grab her from across the street and
Right.
throw her in the back of the car and say, let's go, we're recording.
Club her
And
across our
vice
head.
versa.
She's like, right.
Come hella hot
It's
water.
like incoming. That's our
Right.
thing. Incoming.
Incoming.
That means I'm coming into her house or she's
Right.
coming to mine.
Yeah, so we just know that at the end of the day, like it's important to push through. It's important to make sure that regardless of what you have going on, like unless it's like a real serious family thing and you need to take a break, we take a break, but we always come back to it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
And we have lives. Like this is not the only thing that we do. We
Right.
both
Right.
work in human resources. We obviously have children. We have husbands. We have businesses. I
Yeah.
work with my husband with his business. I'm also a licensed real estate agent. So we have a lot of different things going on. There are a lot of layers to us.
Right.
And so we have to carve out time and we have to be intentional about doing this podcast.
Right.
And I think what makes Nicole and I special is that we complement each other
Right.
so well. And so our strengths and weaknesses align very, very well.
yeah, that's that Virgo Taurus energy where, she's more of the mentalist, I'm more of the doer. So
Right.
the whole concept of how did this podcast come to be, she sent a text and was like, we should do a podcast.
Yeah.
And my response was, okay.
Okay.
And then
the next day
a
she
week
was
later, we're in my bathroom with a microphone, with a bottle of
But
Moet,
the day
recording
later,
a
she was
podcast.
like, okay, let's figure this out. What do you want the
Right.
name to be? What are we going to do? What's going to be the concept? And I was just like, hold on, girl. Like, that was just an idea. Like, she was already,
You planted a seed, child.
Wait,
So
right.
we running with
I
it.
planted that seed and she
Johnny
like
Appleseed
ran
over here.
with it. And
Yeah.
so I think that's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
And then and again, when one person is, not feeling it, then the other person is there
Yeah.
to uplift and,
Right.
and vice versa.
Yeah,
So
definitely a yin and yang.
yeah.
Definitely, man. And again, I know the boys can speak to it. Like there are a lot of, even though it's hard, a lot scheduling things of that nature. There are some great things that come with pod.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
love it. This is our passion. Like, I love doing this so much. We found such a passion and really a calling in doing this. And we haven't been doing it for very long.
Right.
But I mean, so many great things have just kind of been happening naturally and organically because I feel like when you're doing what you're supposed to do,
the
then
doors open.
the doors open.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Your path is
things
cleared.
fall into place. Yeah,
for sure. And we're really protective of this. We call this the passion project for us. Right? We're incredibly protective of it, and so we have partners, spouses, right, that at times are like, damn, like, what are you doing? Creating content? Yes. Like, oh, you podcasting?
Yes.
Our kids even too. Mommy, are you going to podcast?
Yeah, our kids know.
Yes. But we fight for this.
Yeah.
And so we fight to protect it. We love it. This is a great creative outlet for us. We always say it's a great opportunity for us to show up as the most authentic version of ourselves. To be able to, not a lot of people get to do that, especially as HR professionals, you don't get to do that, right? Like you have to put on somewhat of a face.
You better not be real enough.
Right. That's changing. That is changing a little bit, right?
It is.
With a lot of the diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts that are happening within corporate America, that is changing, but they want you to bring your whole self to work, but not all of it.
But not really.
And we've talked about that in episodes, right? Like we've talked about the fact that don't be fooled.
Read the room. Just
read the room. Don't get hoodwinked.
Right.
You get
Right. Who can I say this in front of? It's
Right.
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 Oh, if there's a Karen in there, don't do it.
Right. Terrorist Karen.
Right.
Inclusion don't really be inclusion.
Oh, they missed today? Oh, I can say what I want.
Right. Karen in there, don't
It's
play.
definitely selective.
Right.
Nah, that's a fact, man. So what would be if y'all had to pick one thing, what would be the dopest thing that done happened to y'all since y'all started podding?
So for me, and we talked about this on the way over here, we were like, do we want to tell each other or do we want to keep it a secret?
I love the element of surprise.
Right. She was just like, I don't know. Tell me. And I was just like, you sure? And she was like, I don't know. So we ended up not telling each other. But what's the question? The most,
what's been the dopest part of
the dopest moment is, so my husband has an entertainment company and he produced a music festival here in Houston, Summer Jam, earlier this year. And so she and I had the opportunity to interview some of the artists. And I think that was such a huge moment for us because obviously we've only been doing this. I don't have a degree in broadcast journalism. My degree is in marketing and I work in human resources. And so just to be able to have the confidence and be able to interview these artists, being so new and fresh in this was super exciting for me.
And to get the feedback. They were like Tay Money was like, y'all are so sweet. Can't they all be like you?
Exactly.
Are they really that bad?
We're literally running around trying to get these interviews. It was hilarious.
Yes.
It was funny. It was work, but it was so much fun. And it was such a proud moment because the interviews were really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think, man, was
that yours too?
It was.
Oh, so y'all,
I'm over here like, damn.
look at the synergy.
I knew it was going to be
music.
I knew it.
But it was also just a great opportunity to like put together my love and obsession with music, your love obviously for music, but then just your family's business. And so it was just a great fusion there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm pretty sure I can speak for all the boys when I say the dopest part about it to us is like I don't want to say fanship because I don't feel like we have fans. I feel like we got family, right? And people like reach out to us with their stories and shit that we didn't help them do. I think last part we read in our advice column, we normally read questions that our fans wrote in, but that time they wrote in something was like, yeah, man, y'all helped me do this, and I done moved out here and got this new job, and I'm making this amount of money listening to y'all. That
feels good.
Right.
Stay with it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's that, you know what I'm saying? And I think when we first started this, like we was just getting together, just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it was still
That's all it was.
You know what I mean? And then like you get to getting reached out to by them people, and realize, damn, they really taking what we say serious.
Yeah, same.
So we got to start moving with a bit more substance, a bit more weirdness in terms of what it is that we say. So I think that would be mine. I mean, if
that's
the boys
dope.
want to, y'all got something different, y'all can speak to it.
I like that too. I also like when people see me with my fam and they be acting weird.
What you mean?
You got to talk to that mic.
Hey,
They don't know if they should come to you or
like
not. They know you.
Let me find out.
Like here,
But do they know
say,
you?
I throw a smile like it gotta be TV.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Wait, we're doing a lot of talking. I'm sorry. We have this bottle here.
Oh,
This
girl,
is like
yes.
Oh,
part
okay.
of the course.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
always happening. When we get into good conversation, we always forget. Always.
Okay, sorry. Please continue, but you're going to be interrupted by a pop
Nah,
in a little
but
bit.
that really put a smile on my face. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's like see people acting weird around me a little bit.
Is that ego?
It ain't ego.
Oh, okay.
Because like when I'm with my wife, like you won't hear me. You get what I'm saying? Like you hear my wife before you hear me. Because I'm so like just looking around, making sure everything good. But my wife notices people.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My wife be like, hey,
When's her birthday?
April 30th.
Come on, Taurus.
April 9th. You know what I'm saying? So she be like, hey, look at this person. And they'll be looking at me and they want to come up. And then when we step out the store, they'll come up and take a picture. Which is cool.
That's nice. That's sweet.
I like that part of it, though.
So it is some ego in there. But go ahead.
Let's call it the thing.
It's all good. It's
I'll let
all
my dog
good.
make it what
You
it
have
is.
fanfare. I love it. I love that for you. Woo!
I would say my biggest moment was when we had our first show. I think that was just super dope.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of random. It was during the pandemic. We felt like, we were still figuring things out and had a school reach out to us to do a show. We was like, be a part of a show?
Really?
Out of town? What?
Yes.
We get paid for it? So
Paid
yeah,
appearances.
that was dope.
Trying to be
Yeah.
like y'all when we grow
That
up.
exactly.
That was
We
dope.
are definitely
That was
trying to
dope.
be like y'all when we grow up.
So I would say, now that I've had a chance to think about it and heard what you said, I think for me, the most exciting moment was the first episode. And like after we finished shooting the first episode or recording, because we didn't shoot, we didn't have this.
No, we did not.
We literally had a microphone and we were in my
And a
master
laptop.
bathroom.
I think even your work laptop.
Yeah, my work
shot.
laptop.
Like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I deleted the file, but
Yeah, you gotta keep
You gotta keep that up, man. You gotta keep that up.
but we
We had
deleted
the
the file.
episode.
That way when you make it
Listen.
big, look, man, look up.
Like,
Yeah.
it was rough.
Drop that for the fans
literally
one day.
2 hours trying to figure out how to connect the microphone to the laptop. Like it was a mess.
But it was in that, right? The sweat equity and trying to figure the whole thing out. And then once we did, and the organic conversation that came from it, and we just looked at each other and we said, bitch, we did it.
We did it. And then to your point, all of the feedback that we received from at that point, our family and friends.
Right, because that's all
that's
that's
all
listening.
right.
And
Shout out
we're
to
just
them.
like, you know what? It feels like we're in our
a part
living
of the
rooms.
group,
We're
yeah.
part of the group. We're just you're having girl talk that I have with my girlfriends, and this feels really familiar. And we knew, okay, like this is striking a chord. This resonates with some people.
Yeah.
We're on the right path.
And that was the thing about us is that, the whole podcasting situation came so organically because we had these conversations anyway.
Yep.
Right. So it's like now we have a camera rolling and now we have people listening. But,
Right.
even if the camera wasn't rolling, we'll still link up and have these same type of conversations. And then it's like, damn, you can get paid for this?
Yeah.
Sitting down and just kicking it with the boys? Like this, wow.
Cheers.
But yeah, so again, I just want to give the listeners just a bit of background information. Again, they I want them to go tap in and support y'all, and y'all gonna see as soon as y'all watch it,
Yeah.
be like, okay, I see what Bro's talking about.
No, and we really appreciate that.
We do.
We've tried to figure out. There's so many lanes, right? As you said, that like you can go in this podcast world, and there are no disrespect to the other female podcasters that are out there, but we noticed that there was something missing. There are women out there who are doing the damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're entrepreneurs, they're wives, they're mothers, they're career women. And they're worldly, and that wasn't being spoken about.
Worldly.
What was being spoken about was
Energy. I
getting
like it.
flued
I
out.
like
What was being
that.
spoken about was having men buy things for you,
Right.
sex,
That's a fact.
sex,
You know.
and so we know that, like, hey, at the end of the day, all those things are nice, but there are women out there who have worked hard, who have put in a lot of sweat equity, and we want to talk about that. And that's what this podcast really is about.
That's dope.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. So it's okay. So since y'all are here at Krew season, we got to bring y'all in our world a bit.
Okay, all right,
And I, this is a relationship
You know how y'all
pod,
do.
so we gonna tap into some relationship issues. Why not? Okay. First things first, man. We gonna play a clip, right, in which a guy was speaking on people not wanting to do the work to make relationships work.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get y'all take on what the young man had to say. Let me see.
Feel like they don't have to do the work until they seriously start dating, but you really got to do the work once you start dating, no matter where you at, and that work changes depending on the level you're at. But the work, you still got to put it in. And I feel like we're just all lazy. I just feel like we're all lazy.
Undisciplined.
And we're all lazy, and we're doing the bare minimum to try to get the maximum out of the other person. We're literally trying to do as little as possible in order to protect our ego, protect our emotions, but then still extract the most out of the person that we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. And logically, it just doesn't make sense.
All right. Did everybody get a chance to hear what they said?
Yeah.
What he said? My man basically said, people don't want to do the work to make relationships work. So just in hearing that, man, I'm interested in getting y'all take on it.
Yeah, I think it's a certain level of immaturity, and I'm speaking from experience because, honestly speaking, like that was me. And I think like what a relationship does is holds a mirror to yourself. So you can see your true self, right? And so, you have to be willing to do the work, and either you're going to stay in that selfishness, stay in that immaturity, and not give your partner, what they need or desire. We talked about this on our podcast as well. Or you're going to grow. And, and not only just for the relationship in your partner, but for yourself.
Right.
And that is what I've learned. That's been like the biggest lesson, like for me, with kind of shedding some of either the things from my past, because I feel like two people come in a relationship, they're imperfect.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're bringing all of like your baggage with you in a relationship, right? And so I think that for me, in trying to be a better partner for my husband, I was able to become a better woman for myself and a better person.
Yeah.
And so, I do. I think, and people can get stuck in that. And unfortunately, people get stuck in that. And that's why the divorce rate is as high as it is. But
Yeah. And I'll add that, and I apologize, y'all. My voice is shit right now because I've been on a soccer field, again, wearing multiple hats, but cheering on my
Being a
daughter
real
and her
mom.
soccer team.
Right.
Real. I apologize.
Mom.
Active and involved mom.
Some of y'all
Never mind.
They'll
Never
never
mind.
understand.
It's
too hot outside.
Don't come.
It's too
Don't come for my
early.
ladies.
Dropping your kid off
Come
and
on.
leave.
Don't come for my ladies.
oh no, she be out there.
child.
I'd be like,
Think you
girl.
deserve some credit?
I be out there.
She be out there at practice,
Listen,
at everything.
I
Like
am.
she is
Very committed.
Very committed.
So I think at the root of this laziness is it's TV, it's social media, it's a lot of what you see is idealized, and it's there's a picture that's painted of perfection that strips the kind of the gray matter, the tough, the hard, the part that honestly is what builds a marriage, right? And builds a union. You don't see that. And so a lot of folks probably are going through life wanting a partner that they can consistently 24/7 have that perfect picture of a relationship with.
Right.
And they don't see the ugly. And that's why we always say, like, don't believe what you see on social media at the end of the day. Because, like, when you see these videos of, I love my husband,
or these
I
grand
found the perfect
gestures.
partner,
Yeah.
right? Look what my husband bought me. And it's like, okay, great, fantastic. But, like, there are times, obviously, when things get really hard, and those don't get posted on social media.
Right.
And they shouldn't, right? They shouldn't. And if you're doing that, stop.
Doing too much. Please relax. Please relax.
Day in the life of my marriage.
If you're doing that, stop.
Look at this fool.
We don't need to know. Listen,
You are crazy.
That's family business.
Right.
But I do think that relationships are now designed, and people have a strong desire to want to have these social media relationships. And so the fight, the struggle, kind of the sustainability tends to just not be there because they're looking to chase that high, right? And to continue to have those moments that you're going to have, but they're going to be few and far between because real life's a bitch, right? So, that's my 2 cents on it. I don't necessarily think that people are lazy all the time, but I do believe that we're a little delusional when it comes to relationships now on account of the media.
I would
delusional.
agree.
That's a good word.
Oh, do you feel like laziness plays the main role in people not wanting to do the work in order to make relationships work?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people just in general just don't understand what it takes to be in a relationship. Like we say, it's the fairy tale world and all the Instagram pictures and the stories and all that make it seem like oh, you just find somebody attractive and get with them and everything is all good.
Yeah.
When that's not real life. You have to wake up to that person and want to be with them every single day.
Yes, sir.
And you know, when you dating, and I think a lot of people too also are mixing just casual dating with like relationships.
Yeah.
Like these casual dates, they are not relationships at all.
Yeah.
So at all, and no intentional dating. So yes, it confused a lot of people because I can hang out with you for 3 weeks. But I'm toxic the whole time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But we're dating because I done took you out a few times. We done went here, went there, but we're dating. So, but when you intentionally date someone, it's not all that extra drama and stuff like that. It's really work. It's really, I'm spending time with you. We resolving solutions together. Things that you don't like or things you don't like me doing, like we talking about.
Yeah, we're compromising.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It may be ugly, but we getting through it. And a lot of times people not doing that. They just, because you attractive, I'm going to just put up with whatever. The sex is good, so I'm just going to let you do what you do until I done had enough finally.
Right.
And or I find someone else.
Yes, that too. So, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that's unnecessary and wasted time, wasted energy, but people need to just be more focused on themselves. And once you get somebody who is really worth it and showing you that, you know what I'm saying, that you are worthy and they're worthy of your time, then that's when we'll progress. But it's not
like a
wasted
high value man right there.
You know,
high value.
If I might say so myself. Say so for myself.
Please don't get
what
this.
You got to say? I don't know about this. Come on,
smooth.
Come on.
When we get to talking about laziness in terms of doing the work to make relationships work, do you feel like bro had a valid point in saying that?
Yeah, I agree. And everything O said, like I look at like this generation of people that's growing up and like they on social medias and they life so fast these days. They think it's just supposed to work right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? Like not knowing like where you gonna live at? Like what's your foundation? Like people say like I hear a lot of things about preference these days. Your preference with your partner could be totally different. You know what I'm saying? But what's your principles? Your principles have to align with your partner. That's the only way it's gonna work.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? Everybody got different preferences. But when we talking principles, everybody falls into different categories. Like it may be 10 categories. Somebody's gonna fall in them categories, but preferences is all over the place. So I think your principles have to align, and then you can build from there, right? Because y'all both can be good people, but if y'all principles don't align, it's not gonna work because y'all see it from two different perspectives. You get what I'm saying? The way y'all do it is totally different from how you ever gonna view each other. So y'all may try to make it work for 2, 3, 4 years. That's why we see people get married, and then 2 years later, 3 years later, they get a divorce, right? Because now you living day to day, and your principles aren't together. So I think we need to get principles in line, and then everything will flow right. You get what I'm saying? And
so you say principles. So can we double click on that? So give me an example of principles, because I think people might have differing opinions around.
All right, so preference
or understanding.
Let me say preference can be tall, short, job, but principles is how you treat something. Yeah, job.
You got to throw the job in. I get what you.
Apparently, that's a principle.
Yeah, no, but a job, because you got to realize I can be a trash man making 100,000. But I can also be a lawyer making 100,000.
No, you'll be making more.
But when you start off, most lawyers when they start off,
you say $100?
100,000.
Oh yeah, lawyers don't. Yeah, lawyers don't. They don't make that much money.
They're making over 100,000.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's a different. You see, that's preference because it's different ways you get into it. Some people may be ashamed to date this trash man, but hey, I got a lawyer.
Do trash men make $100,000?
If they drive the truck,
they drive the truck.
Really? They're basically they're called waste.
I'm glad
I didn't even know that. They're called waste engineers.
Exactly.
I did not know that. I learned something new.
You see the man in the truck, you thinking he lives
just a garbage man.
Oh, he just driving that garbage.
Right? So that is preference. For real. That's preference.
I was today years old.
So preference can be all over the place. But principle, what I mean by principle is respect, right? Your integrity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you treat your woman or your man? You get what I'm saying? Like, how do you want your kids to be raised?
Yep.
All that is principle, right? And a lot of people don't understand. They don't know how to separate the two, right? So that's what I mean by principle.
I'm glad you clarified for the audience.
That was
because, you know,
the listeners.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with a little bit of all y'all said, but I'm gonna attack it from a different angle. I think it's more so ignorance than laziness. And what I mean by that is that most people don't even know what a successful long-term relationships look like. We're gonna be honest. Like a lot of people come from broken homes.
yeah, we don't have that example.
Right. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like you don't have anything to even kinda emulate. So when I get out in this world and I meet my woman or I meet my man, we literally figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's,
Yeah, flying out of city of pants. Yeah.
right. So it's not that, I'm lazy or I just, don't want to put the work in. Is that I don't even know what steps to take in terms of getting this shit to that 40-year anniversary, 50-year anniversary that we be talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why it's important for platforms like this, platforms like y'all to speak on, hey, this is what a successful marriage looks like.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, especially in this space that we in, everybody speaks on the dysfunction. Sure.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, such and such cheating, or such and such did me wrong, or such and such left me. Da da da. My kid, I'm single mother, or I'm the dad. Oh, she won't let me see my kids. Like we hear all of the dysfunction.
Yeah.
But you don't hear many people on these platforms talking about, yeah, bro, yeah, me and my old lady been married 20 years, everything going good. This is what we did, XYZ, XYZ. So it's like a lot of people don't have no blueprint to follow. So it's more ignorance.
Yeah.
Does anyone here have parents that are still married?
Yeah. Mine did 30 and tapped out.
30 years?
Yeah, 30
Wow.
and tapped out.
Tapped out at 30.
My moms did 9. Tapped out.
Yeah.
Initiated by the mom or by your mom? Okay. Initiated by your mom
It's not
too?
going
Let me
anywhere.
say by me.
But yeah.
So my mom got remarried because my dad passed. But they were married 11 years when my dad passed. And so now she's been married 10 years.
Okay.
They just had their 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, my mom's is remarried.
So
Oh, your mom's remarried?
He's a good man too. I can't hate. Great man.
I love
That's
that.
good. I love that. And I know that your parents are divorced as well. So all of us come from broken homes in a sense. So, to validate your point, that's true.
Well, broken may not be broken in the sense that, like, if the situation,
broken marriage.
Yes, right, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broken marriage.
A broken marriage, because not all marriages, respectfully, not all marriages are the right pairing or the right union, and so sometimes you need that break in order to.
But in terms of
create the
talking,
fit.
what he was saying to his point, is having that example of like what a healthy relationship looks like, right? Having the blueprint. So it was just saying like, I didn't have that blueprint, and it doesn't seem like. Your parents did it for 30 years.
Yeah, but
so
it was a toxic 30.
It was toxic.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, again,
you could be in that relationship for an extended period of time, but at the end of the day, like,
do you know what a loving, healthy relationship is?
and that's the thing. Leaving that, I didn't. Ironically. Right, 30 years of marriage, you would think, I leave. I got some jewels I can take, right? But that wasn't the case because they were so incompatible.
So a question.
in our time too, they were growing up. They were getting married at 19, 18.
Yeah, right. They were
my
still
mom got
figuring out
married.
who they
Who
were.
they were. Yeah, my mom had me very young.
Right.
20,
My mom
21.
got married, what, 23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they still figuring things
Yeah,
out.
that's
It was
true.
crazy. It was during that time. My mom was doing all the work.
Oh gosh. Do we need to lay on the couch over here? Because
Get this therapy, 2-season therapy coming soon.
We're going to have a session after this. Don't worry, we got you.
Doing all the work. Oh, here's some pens.
So a question for maybe all or just one, but what are y'all doing to try and ensure that you're not repeating the cycle so that you have this sustainable, loving union?
You know what's crazy? I once told my mom.
Talking to the mic.
I once told my moms like when I don't argue with women, you know what I'm saying? But this particular time, like we're not arguing, but I've never talked like stern to a woman. You get what I'm saying? Like I always talk with respect and all that. But I'm talking to my moms like during this time, like this is when I'm like finding out who I'm gonna be as a man. You get what I'm saying? And there's a few answers I needed, and I knew she only can answer them for me. But in that time, like when I went seeing my mom to get the master's, she still was trying to lie to me, and I knew it was a lie. Yeah. And I was like, look, long as I'm doing directly opposite of what I seen, I'm gonna be great.
Nugget.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So during that time, like I've tried my best, you know what I'm saying, like over and beyond to not be what I seen.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So anything that I see that reminds me of that, I immediately cut it off.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like still to this day, I don't like a thief at all. I'd rather you kill me than steal something from me. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Or if I catch you, gonna have to, one of us gonna have to die now.
Yeah.
Like, but that's my trauma. That's my trauma.
Look, we're not promote violence.
Right.
No, absolutely
I'm just telling you my traumas.
Right.
Telling you my traumas.
We're just speaking honestly. And there's two people in this world. The people are gonna do the opposite of the bad behavior that they've seen, and there are people who are going to do the exact same.
They're going to emulate.
Yep. Exactly. They're going to emulate what they've seen. So
for me, I just want to be, the pillar for my family. You get what I'm saying? I want to be the one that they, like now I am the one that they speak on and come to and everybody.
Or you say all of them moved from PA to Houston for you.
For your boy. Some of y'all never know how they feel.
My mom don't even like. My dad don't even like come and visit me.
My mom moved all the way from CT to Houston just to be a presence.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You the only child?
That's dope.
No, I have a sister.
That part.
Younger or older?
Younger.
She's here too?
No.
She's still in?
No, she's in like San Francisco.
My people so stuck in their ways.
Oh, it's too hot. I used to live in Cali.
It's too hot or too high?
High. Oh yeah, it's high.
The altitude. High in what way though? Because
because there can be like a bunch of different ways. It can be high.
Cost of living, altitude, marijuana. What we talking about?
All of it. Everything. All of it. Shit.
All of it. As soon as I stepped off the plane, I was like this.
But damn, it's crazy. The wild part is that even if like you had a broken home, you may, because what you said was right in terms of you got two people, one's gonna emulate, one's gonna go against the grain. But the likelihood of this situation is you're gonna emulate.
You're gonna emulate.
Subconsciously.
Subconsciously.
Right. Like
and that's a fact.
Yeah. So it's like the most difficult part is kind of like catching those trends, because I still find myself doing things that my parents did, and I'm like, oh wait a minute,
you got to
let me stop this and go the other way. But just muscle memory wise, because you in the house 18 years.
You think that's right. You think that, okay, I come from this family. I know that they love me. I know they had these bad behaviors, but it was still love there. Right. And so you don't know it's wrong. That's why I'm saying being with a partner is like holding a mirror up to yourself, and it's just like, these are the behaviors that you're displaying, and it's not okay. And you grow up in an environment and you think, certain behaviors are okay, and in all reality, they're really not. And so I just think that like people need to learn that, you know what I mean, and just break those cycles.
Agree. But I do think there's an important element to factor in, which is there are some people who don't even have a memory and or recollection of what that maybe unhealthy or toxic dynamic looked like, right? And so when you say it's subconscious, like it might be in their DNA, right? In the sense that like they might not even know, right, how bad it was, but they're emulating behaviors that mirror what their family member passed on to them. So
you know what's crazy? You know what made me see it different too? Like sped up my process when I met my wife, right? Because my wife's mom and my mom did the same thing for a living, the exact same thing. But when I met my wife, like me, I'm a people watcher. Like I'm a great people person. Like that's my gift in life.
You want to be in HR?
I should be.
Yeah, you are. You should be.
But that's my gift.
HR the ops, man. Go ahead, man.
Not the ops. I love when I see HR. Yeah.
That's a lie.
Watch your mouth.
That's a lie.
We get a bad rep.
We really do.
You know why we get a bad rep?
That's a whole other episode.
It's convenient until it's convenient.
Because we have little passions about this field for a lot of reasons because of that. Statements like that.
But if we were y'all's HR, y'all would feel comfortable coming to talk to us.
Absolutely.
HR managers,
absolutely.
Whatever.
Okay, that's all right, as you were saying.
I gotta put you on that bubble first.
That's my like. They'll tell you that's my get. Like I can tell you who someone is. Like just off a few hours of conversation. You know what I'm saying?
You're
I have
super
strong discernment.
But with my wife, when I met her, like I would see she had like I'm a big Jordan head, I'm a big shoe head. Like this is me. Like I'm peeping my wife. Like damn, she got every shoe that I ever want it as a job. So I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm like, damn, what your mama do? Like, she gotta be a doctor, she gotta be a nurse, something. And then we got the chat, and I was just like, hey, what your mama do? She was like, yeah, my mom drive buses. What? She was like, yeah, my mom drive. I said, how many of it? Because now I'm thinking, oh, she only had like 2 children. She was like, nah, it's 5 of us.
Just putting you all on your head.
Yeah, because my mom did the same thing for longer, right? And I'm like, we didn't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like they know my background. I ain't gonna say that on there, but I had to do some things that I ain't proud of. Right?
Yeah.
My wife and them never had to do that. They never had to pay for anything. They never had to worry about working. All they had to do was school, had the nicest shit, all that type of shit. So that made me look at my situation that I come from totally different. Because I always thought, in my mind, my mom did the best she could. But
That's
when
beautiful.
I met somebody that was in the same lane of growing up with me and had like the same amount of sisters, well, I got 4 brothers and sisters. She got 5.
Right.
So since your mom had more, and she sacrificed herself as far as herself looking great and all these. Like her mom still to this day shop at Goodwill, but for them she wouldn't do that. She would buy them the nicest things and all that, and they would compete with grades and all these type of things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So from that day on, I had to talk to my moms. I was like, look, hey.
Did you have to bring that back to your mom?
Whoa, you don't do that.
Don't do that.
You just gotta accept it.
I would never.
You just
You
be
just
like,
take
okay,
it in stride.
These are my
That's-
circumstances.
Right.
No, because
Do not.
like with me being a parent now, you get what I'm saying? Like, and I'll tell y'all how I'm feeling off camera that a lot of people don't know. My wife only knows that, so I'll say y'all off camera. But as far as like me being a parent now, like I know what I would give.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you would sacrifice.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. 1000%.
So if for me, if I had to give up everything and me look like a bum, but my children looks amazing, I would give it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't be the other way around.
Yeah. I have a similar story to yours, and that, not that, because I stay fly, okay? And my children are fly. I had not that. That's not my story, okay?
From day one.
I had the best.
I was
I
her.
had the best of the best.
We have different stories.
Forever.
I can't relate because I was fresh.
I was fresh.
My situation
Fresh
is
to
more like yours.
But that's a blessing too, because I had a really great in-law. My mother-in-law was amazing, and she was sweet, and she was kind, and talked bad about nobody, never said a bad word or said anything derogatory. And she was so encouraging. And so that's what I loved about her. And, you know, I have a lot of friends who marry into families and they like hate their mother-in-laws or hate the other side of the family. And I'm just like, that is not my story, because I loved her. And not only that, I learned from her. I learned how to be softer. I learned how to be kinder. And so that I think that's really important. And I think it's great that you're able to take that, right, and make yourself a better person because of it, because it's not a given. Trust me. Like, I know so many people who like hate their in-laws, like would not want to be around them ever, let alone take anything from them,
like
learn like a lesson.
They invite me to everything.
Right.
Welcome, everything.
But I think as a parent, generationally, I know where my mom and dad is better than where their parents were, and where I am, I'm in a better position than where my mom and dad are, right?
Yeah.
And so it's literally about just generationally creating an opportunity for everybody to, you know, be in a better place.
Yeah.
That's it.
And what ends up happening, and I'm not trying to sit here and diagnose, but what ends up happening sometimes is there isn't that sacrifice, right, that parents are willing to make on account of making sure that generational uplift happens. And so, you know, I hate that is a story that you just had to share.
But you know what's crazy?
Okay. Come on, I'm a G.
But you know what's crazy?
This is a safe space, guys. I just want to establish that.
Like, I'm the type of person, like, I can see myself from the table. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can get up and then assess the situation.
Yeah. You
So
get perspective.
I understand the times my mom grew up in.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I understand
1000%.
it was hard on women.
Yeah.
I understand, like, it was just deep in the drug game. I understand it was super oppression. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand the situation you was in. But me being a man now, me coming to talk to you, I expect for you not to lie to
Right,
me because
right.
I understand.
Because you understand. You're coming from a very empathetic
Exactly.
place.
But that's so good that you, as a black man, can go and talk to your mom about these things.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. Like to have that open line of communication, to even be able to vocalize that, because a lot of black men hold that stuff in, and
Yeah, and for a long time I could never. But when I
Right.
became the man, and then I became the leader of it all.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Now she can open up to me, and we didn't have these conversations.
But I
a
understand
lot
why
of
she
people-
didn't.
Exactly.
I understand why she didn't.
Why you shielded
because it
me
presents
from it.
weakness. I mean, there are certain things that if I were even to try and talk to my mom about, like she would.
Oh, she would shut down. Child.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "I'm too old for this."
Right, I'm
she was
too old for this. Who do you
I
think
did
you
the
are?
best I could. I'm
Right,
like,
with
all
what
right.
I got.
So I understand the time. You get what I'm saying? Because the opportunity for women, and I understand how hard it was.
Yeah.
It's not like these days. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't hold it against her. I just don't want you to lie to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but there was a huge part of her that was trying to protect you, right? In
Yeah,
the,
she's
in the
still
lie,
trying to-
in the lie,
yeah.
right? So hopefully you gave her grace. It sounds like you did.
I did.
You did? Okay.
Sounds like you did.
Come on.
Of course, you have to give moms
A1.
grace. Have to.
All right, man. Hell of a conversation. We're going to transition right now and get into quick hits brought to us by Beatbox. These bottles that y'all see us holding. Salute to the sponsor, man.
All right.
And make sure y'all tag
That one.
the brand.
Yeah.
The brand.
And
Tag.
it's really, really good too.
Brand.
We had some earlier.
We had some.
It tastes amazing.
We had this fruit
We had the
punch.
fruit punch.
Took me out, child.
I was like, "Hello, are you here? Are we going to be able to do this?"
She's texting me with the eyes.
I'm like, "I need you to wake up."
Nah, that's a fact. All right, first one, man. We're going to get into it. First question is, how important is a person's relationship history when deciding how serious you're going to take them?
Oh, it's huge.
When they're back.
Can I answer first?
Say it one more
Oh,
time.
well, yes, because I don't
Run it
have
back
an
one
answer.
more time.
I got an answer.
Right, quick.
How important is a person's relationship history when you deciding how serious you're going to take them?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna go first.
Okay, because I'm like, wait,
Like, who's
because
gonna
if
go
you
first?
someone don't go,
I don't give a
Like
damn.
crickets.
You don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm saying that because when you get with me, of course we're gonna move away from the city that you were born in. Of course.
Oh, this is high value.
This is a gem. This is a real
We
gem
got to.
right here. We got
Talk
to.
about it, Smooth. Let's go. Talk about it.
See, we from Port Arthur, so we gotta from Port Arthur, Beaumont. I gotta move you away from
You
this.
got to
But
go.
as far as Houston, like if you live in a big city, like
Yeah.
if you from the South Side, hey, we gotta move to the North Side. You know what I'm saying?
Northwest.
Northwest, You know what I'm saying?
Not the north. Y'all let the north be the north.
Do
Yeah,
not.
do
Shout out to the
not.
north
Don't
side.
do it.
Because I don't want to run into nobody that you know.
Nobodies.
Exactly.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You don't want to run into somebody that you know that I used to have, you know what I'm saying, some things with. So when you do that, you take all that away. And then on top of that, long as you ain't did no like OnlyFans type of thing, that's just my preference. My principle.
All right.
My preference. As long as you ain't did
might
no
be a principle.
OnlyFans or you ain't on camera doing nothing crazy.
What if she was a stripper, dancer, bottle
You
girl,
know this, but you know that.
bottle girl?
That's a,
It's okay.
What is this?
Live your
What is
life.
this? Live your.
To me,
Okay.
fellas,
There we go.
We need to hear this.
We go.
Ladies,
if
listen.
you're getting with a bottle girl, right? Make sure you pick one with some hustle, right? Because in the sense of that line of work, they don't know who they are. They don't even know what they good at yet, right? And it may take you to get her to see what she's actually good at.
That's a very good point.
You get what I'm saying? But you got to take her from that environment. Like,
Yeah.
hey, let me see you do this. Let's do this. Let's do
Because
that.
they only see what they.
Yeah.
They're very short sighted. I had a situation where I provided an opportunity at the company that I work for somebody who works in that industry, and she ended up quitting because the job that she got working at my company interfered with her hours as being a bottle girl. And all she saw was the money that she makes from the bottle girl, not thinking about the long-term implications of how she could grow her career, take care of her child. So that's true. That is very. I'm with you. I follow.
what I mean by
I get
hustle.
you.
That
I
quick
get
money,
you.
that quick money be
right?
blinding. Yeah, blinding.
That's
It's
what
blinding,
I mean
yeah.
by hustle. And some of them may not be ready. You got to understand, like, Some of them may not be. You got to get a woman in that industry that's tired.
On the decline.
Yeah. Like she wants a way out. She wants a lead bartender.
So let me ask you, the peak. So she wants a way out, but maybe she's looking at you as a meal ticket.
See that's when you're.
But how do you know?
That's when you're decorum.
How do we know? How do we know?
How do you read the room? How do you read the room?
Everybody.
Right. That's the question.
I understand everybody is not smooth. They can't read people. Okay. Right? But how will you know? Spend the least amount of money on her as possible and as much amount of time as you can give her. Give that.
Oh. No.
Whoa.
You
no, bitch.
We're not doing
why?
Don't spend no money. Don't spend no money.
But you know why?
Y'all going to McDonald's?
But you know why?
What?
If that woman truly loves that man, she wouldn't care what space she's in.
But how am I going to know that I love
that's
you?
true.
I'm saying we ain't got to be on the floor. We ain't got to be on the floor, Liv. Yeah. But I'm talking all that extravagant dating. All
that's games.
You know what I'm saying?
That's playing games. If you like somebody,
don't do none of that. As a man, don't do none of that because she is gonna separate herself as far as I'm not here for that. I'm here to improve us, not just myself. Right? And men, we feel that from the woman, not a woman. Ooh, that's a
That's a meme.
I caught that.
You might be talking.
All right, go ahead, gang.
We have that accident. From the one.
Nigga stumbled into a boy.
First of all, give this man credit. Give credit where credit is due. Give credit where credit is due.
I gotta hate it real quick.
When we stumble into the woman, like we understand. You get what I'm saying? Like what's going on now. In that midst of that, we may not be ready.
And that probably is the case more often than
More
not.
times than not. That's a fact.
The readiness of the male is not in sync with the readiness of the female. And I think most females, like, I get this whole fuck niggas get money culture and concept. But
get your bread.
But the reality is a lot of women don't want to operate in that space.
That's
a lot
facts.
of women want to. You said that's facts or false?
We know.
That's facts.
Oh, they want to operate in this who's my person space. But that's not what this culture currently in society is designed.
And if I'm going to keep it a stack. Every woman is not reserved for marriage. It's just a numbers thing. Every woman can never be married.
Whoa. So I'll disagree on this. I think that a lot of women, majority of women, I'll go so far to say, absolutely want to be married. But however,
he said they can't be.
However,
percentage-wise, they can't.
Are you saying?
However, they can't be because they've been trying to think like men. They've been fucking their way through society.
No, he's saying they can't because the men have the advantage because they're more of us than they are of them.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a numbers game.
And most black women.
That's all we saying.
Because
you feel it.
Because you gotta like look at the problem.
I got you.
And what you can point to, you can look at the problem in Atlanta. Like everybody wants to move to Atlanta, right? But if you're a woman and you're moving to Atlanta, you got to realize like you're going to be sharing your man.
Looking for a straight meal.
Do not scare women.
No. But
that's real.
These are not scare tactics. These are real. Like
These
you're
are real.
Majority.
You get what I'm saying? You're moving to Atlanta.
But it's true, girl. It's true.
I don't like saying it.
You are going to be sharing your man.
I don't like saying it either. But if somebody is coming to me for advice, right? If somebody say, "Hey, should I make this move here?"
You know, I know that about Atlanta, but I'm talking about like the women who I feel like if a woman wants to be married, she can. I don't think black women should only look at black men.
That's true.
Go outside of your race, honey.
Do that. Morally, that's true.
Go.
We don't be holding y'all back from that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Whatever makes you happy.
Women depend on their family's opinion on how they see them, right? So if you go get you a white man, you know your family is gonna look at you crazy. No matter if that white man is treating you great, he can be putting you on this super pedestal. But it's important to you how your family view you in that covenant.
But that is so restricting. And
it is.
But you can't talk about black women and these statistics about how most of them won't ever be married because there's not enough black men, and then say
most of them won't. I'm saying they can't.
This is battle of sexes already.
Same thing.
Early. You get started early.
Like, what do you mean? I don't know. I just don't like to. I understand that. I understand that.
So I'm looking at my son, and I don't know if y'all looking at y'all kids, but I done had these discussions with my wife, and I said it on the previous pod. I'm looking at my son, like the time, like if we projecting how the numbers gonna be when they grow, when they get to the age of dating really serious and marriage. Poly might be the thing.
It better not be.
Poly
but
what?
It might.
It better not
God.
be.
Did he say poly?
Why?
Poly want to crack.
Probably want to crack.
Look, because it's only gonna be a certain amount of black men. If we just talking black men, you know, most black women only want to be with a black man.
See,
right?
That's not right.
But if we just talking black men,
I feel like
majority of us will only be average men.
What? Say that again.
I could do what?
Majority of black men
Do
will
what?
only be average men.
Never.
Not average men. But
My man would never.
Not as far as
My man would never.
integrity, but I'm talking as far as living conditions, like what you can bring to the household money wise. Most people are average.
But what I will tell you right now is I feel like black men are absolutely on the come up right now.
We are.
And I feel like it is like black men, like, I feel like it's
What was the question, Chad?
I know.
Right, we didn't got detour.
I know, we did.
I'm trying to let y'all finish. I'm like, goddamn, like we way off.
He's trying to get better.
It's always smooth.
It's always
Right.
It's always smooth.
I'm sorry about that.
No
Bring him over here with us. Yeah.
No apologies.
Look
No.
here. All right.
anyway,
so
okay, sorry.
the
What's the
question
question?
question was this, right? When you're considering how serious you're gonna take somebody, how much does their previous relationships play a role in that?
I don't think it plays a role. For me, when I think back on my past, I don't know if it plays that much of a role in the decision that I decide to make. But I did see something online, and I was just like, And a girl was like, I feel like I am a 10. I feel like I'm a beautiful woman, as all women should feel. Was that a fly?
It's a B.
Oh, a bee?
No, it's a fly.
Okay.
No.
So as all women should feel like they're beautiful. She's like, if I am dating a man and he has a history of dating fives, I am not fucking with you.
Whoa!
I am not fucking with you. Because she said, you
Talked about that.
why would I allow you to bring down my stock being your 10 when you've only dated 5
Real talk.
in the past?
But what if he up
And I
there
was
though?
like,
What if he
okay.
up there? He just happened to date
What if he
down.
glowed
Well, that's
up?
what-
But if he's consistently dated down?
But I think that.
But what if he glowed up?
But I think that's the glow up, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's just about where you are in life right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in your past, I understand like men date according to
Where they are in
where
life.
they are in life.
But also,
Period.
How about this too? Women who are more attractive typically come with a little more, I don't want to say baggage, but
Time out.
typically
out.
they
Lean
may come
into
with
it.
a little
Just
bit more.
lean into it. You ain't got to tiptoe.
It's
Lean into
baggage.
it.
Okay,
There we go.
But I'm saying,
Is it baggage or is it higher expectations? And if
No.
hold on. Is the question? Let me finish the question.
Come
Smooth.
on,
Let me finish the
come on,
question.
come on.
Is it baggage or are they higher expectations that at the time the man that is interested in them is not able to deliver on?
That's what it is.
And so that might be baggage that might translate due to a lack of emotional intelligence. Let me finish. Let me finish. That might translate into, due to a lack of emotional intelligence on the male's part, that might translate to baggage
being difficult. Yeah.
Being, never being satisfied, lack of gratitude.
Yeah.
Keep going. But it could, at the end of the day, truly just be about, hey, I might be a 10. I have expectations that a 10 would have.
Yep.
And you come in and bring this 5-level energy and nigga, that don't work.
That's what she said. She said, go back to that 5.
Right.
And play with her. Leave me alone.
Play with your mama, not me.
Exactly. And I was just like, right.
Shallow.
Sometimes those expectations be just a little off. Only
What you
because
mean? What's the off expectation?
Uh-oh.
just because one man does all these great things for you doesn't skew the whole market for you.
But doesn't mean it might not just be one.
It might not, but it's not often where it's a lot.
Well, I don't. As for me and mine,
It was 3. You talking like it's 13.
I respectfully disagree.
I mean, you got 2 out of 10. That don't mean. What's that
That's
percentage?
not my story. That's not my story. I don't think that's your story either.
What?
two men out of your lineup that
He said
like
3. It was 3.
Have what?
2 to 3 men out
That
of your
just made
lineup.
you had these high expectations, and now you have a high standard.
That ain't my story.
Off of a couple encounters.
Most women
No.
only get 2.
I'm just
Okay.
To what?
I'm just saying.
Two men that like show up and show. I know it. I'm aware. 2 men that show up and show out and like create this expectation
Yes.
standard that women have.
Yes.
And I'm saying that's not my story.
You know what the irony is? You know what the irony is to that though?
I'm not most.
You know what the irony is? Those 2 or 3 men,
Cheers to that. Bitch.
those 2 or 3 men don't make it for the long term.
Hell no.
Ironically.
Never do.
They showed up, showed out, provided this, showed you this, money that, and that nigga's an ex.
But it's not necessarily about money.
No.
No, I'm not talking about
The
money. I'm talking about
experience.
thoughtfulness. I'm
Just
talking about
everything.
consideration,
Emotional
flowers every
intelligence.
Sunday,
Yes.
all of that, emotional intelligence. He's ex.
Rickton can't
That's not
go
the
and
man
change
that
the
y'all
whole
tempting to be with.
perspective.
Oh, because nice guy versus bad guy. That's a whole conversation.
And I didn't want to go there, but you kind of pushed me.
But I mean,
But look, though,
That bad
all
guy have more playing room than the good guy.
that's what I'm saying. Again, we got to understand,
It
like
depends.
different guys have
on what the
different
bad
length of
guy
leash.
brings to the table.
There we go.
We just talked about it on
We
the
did.
line.
Sex only.
We just talked about it on the line.
He saying sex
God level. God level sex.
Every time she over there, it's a elevator experience.
That's a fact. But I mean, that's real right. Hey, salute to all my damn, what's old boy name? Pee-wee. Salute to Pee-wee, man. My dog out there doing his thing. But look though, this is why I say that history does matter, right? And I think it's from like a psychology confidence perspective is what I'm coming from. Just like y'all say, like if you used to dating 5s and you get with a 10, I tell women all the time, you never want to be a nigga first 10. Never. Because again, like those insecurities are just gonna fall out of the closet. You ain't even gotta open the knob. You ain't gotta twist the knob. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of plays a role. And let's gonna be honest here, same thing goes for women. Right? If you dating a man that's on the lower tier and he's always available for you, flowers every Sunday, all that shit, thoughtfulness, consideration, all that, and then you get up to that top tier man, like it's gonna be a bit of insecurity that takes place. The nigga on the lower level, he didn't have women chasing him. He didn't have women that was all beating his damn DMs and shit down, right? So that's gonna be an adjustment now that you're dealing with this high tier man. Fact is, most women ain't got the confidence or the self-esteem to climb that ladder, even though they want to. And that's why a lot of those relationships crash and burn. So again, I think previous relationships matter because that's gonna tell me what you used to.
Yep.
And that's gonna tell me where the bar is in terms of my performance, which again can work against you. If you dating 5s, and I know you dating 5s, okay, I'm gonna give you 6 effort.
Oh, 6 energy. Okay.
Because I know that
But you know what's crazy?
that's gonna be the highest you ever been.
5-level dudes be the nicest brothers.
They
course.
do.
Right?
So,
So
yes,
you may
they
have to
do.
do more work.
They don't want that.
Now, if she been
It
dating
depends on what
7s or
makes them
8s, you may can put in a little bit less work. Right? Because
I
as you
don't,
go
I
up
don't
their
like the way the
charts-
math is not mathing.
I know what y'all talking about right now.
Y'all over here carry the one.
Exactly.
It's not working.
6 carry
It's
1.
It's PEMDAS.
You gotta divide. You gotta
understand. PEMDAS.
I don't like the way the math is not
but-
The
mathing.
math is definitely not mathing.
It is.
It's
Yeah,
not.
put
But this
Put
is
the-
the
put the formula
perspective.
in there
This
right.
is definitely the perspective of the male. I would say this from a female's perspective. I don't think we get that complicated with it. I don't
That's
think
cap.
we get like that. Oh,
Yeah.
That's good.
But go ahead. Go
But finish.
no.
Finish.
Okay. Oh, he
I'll
said
tell you why
carry.
after this.
Okay,
But that's
well,
cap.
no.
Okay.
Blue cap. Big blue cap.
It's
Big
not,
blue.
Well,
I don't know if we.
All
Get,
right, come on.
No,
Yeah.
listen.
Come on.
I'm thinking
Let me
through.
finish.
I'm thinking
Let me-
through.
yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm thinking through.
While I try and push this thought
'Cause
out.
look, I'm thinking you got to realize, like, say if y'all wasn't married, right? Say right now you was like, all right, look, I'm gonna go date a 2.
Never.
No, but I'm saying, think about.
We know. We know you're not. We know you're not.
Never.
But if you dated that 2, he is gonna treat you like
God.
I don't even care.
I don't get
Literally.
because a bitch like me.
Jesus Christ.
Literally.
Because a
But if
bitch
you
like me is
dated
gonna
a
walk all
10,
over it too.
But if you dated a 10,
Barefoot.
like an option.
Stomp.
you know that's a different type of level.
The lubes. You would do
The
it.
lubes, right? I would just
No,
step all over you,
we're not doing
child.
that.
But you gotta
Bloody Sunday.
understand, like his intentions, like his attention on you will be super graceful.
I don't want that. I don't think we want that.
Exactly. It's
And
not
you
about,
would.
it's about what you want.
Okay, y'all wouldn't. But if y'all was single and let's say you chasing a 10, you got a man, he's a 10. You know, he got the money, he got the status, he looks great.
He has the emotional intelligence, because that is important too.
That's true.
It's not just
but
about
what you
the
going to
finances.
get that man, you think you're going to be the only one trying to tame that man?
Everybody trying to get him.
So it's a competition.
And I like a competition. I like a healthy competition.
born to compete.
A lot of women do not have that mindset.
No, I was born to compete.
I was never run from a healthy competition.
But that is the same reason why. Like, listen,
They bowed out already.
right, but that's the same reason why I'm out here trying to make sure, right? And if I were single, I'm out here trying to make sure that I am feeding this, right? Mm-hmm. Like I'm making sure that this temple is doing what it needs to do, right?
Absolutely.
There are line items on the budget for therapy, for nails, for hair, for waxes, for whatever the case may be, right? Because at the end of the day, it is a competition. It is a competition to keep your partner to be attracted by your partner, attractive to informed by your partner. Mm-hmm. So it's not about once you get the man that you just all of a sudden
let it fall apart.
Let the tires fall off.
We're not doing
Y'all hear that?
No, we're not
Are
doing
y'all
that.
listening?
No, we're not doing that.
Are y'all listening?
No, absolutely not.
Do not want to compete though.
Because they feel like once they got the man, why should I have to compete? You got to compete every day.
How about,
let me look at this camera. Bitch, you got to compete every day because there are hoes out here thoughting and plotting trying to get your man, and you got to compete. You absolutely have to.
They
compete.
slanging in them DMs.
Your man.
How about
See you for a titty pic, you like nah today. Get out of here.
If he asking you for a titty pic, give him the titty pic. If he's your man, if he's not your man, don't do it. Don't do it.
Know your man. And know the things that he likes and know the things that he wants, you know, on top of that. Like on top of like keeping yourself and doing the things that, you know, make you feel good.
Studying your man.
He appreciates.
Studying your man.
But know your man.
It ain't all about you.
And then that brings it full circle, right? Not being lazy. And understanding, going back to the clip that we talked about, back to that, like understanding the fact that like you can't be lazy, you can't be complacent. Mm-hmm. You absolutely have to just make sure that you are doing the work to study, to understand, making sure you're doing the upkeep, not just the physical upkeep, but the mental upkeep.
Right.
And a man's needs are going to change. Mm-hmm. A woman's needs are going to change. So you have to study each other.
That's a fact.
Damn, this
it ain't just one-sided.
It's not.
Y'all definitely gonna be listening to the pod. I can tell.
Listen to the podcast.
Listen to the pod, man. I can tell. All right, last one of quick hits. Is it healthy to lean on people outside of your relationship when you're having issues in it?
Hell to the motherfucking yes.
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 We agree. Yes.
Yes, it is. Not everybody. And most men, my husband would say the same thing because he doesn't talk to anybody. He's a vault. But yes, it's healthy. Not talking to everybody, but a trusted friend or relative that you know that you can talk to, who will keep your secrets,
and
who
has
won't
your
judge
best
you,
interest
has your
at heart.
best interest.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's healthy. I mean, you can talk to any therapist. Like, it's so healthy to do that. Like, why hold all of that?
Only people I'm talking to.
See?
Yeah.
But you're still talking.
That's still talking.
But you talking.
But you're talking.
But family members?
I'm still looking to y'all.
Limits.
Because I'm looking at y'all for advice.
Off limits.
No, I did have to stop like bringing my mom in because my mom was just like, fuck it every week, like
super biased.
So I had to start being more selective about like the information that I shared with her. Mm-hmm. But I do have a couple of friends that I do talk to, and not only looking to just find myself right in every situation. Right. I want people to like really know and give me perspective.
That's growth.
Were you right or were you wrong, right? And how you can go back and be better in that situation. And I do. I have those people.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Not your mama. Not your mama.
Yeah, you got to have those conversations because at the end of the day, you need those friends that know where you've been, know where you want to go, who you've talked to about where you want to go, who can operate and serve as that mirror and hold you accountable. So it's not just talking to any rando, but making sure that you're talking to people who want to see you show up as the best version of yourself and want to see you in your union thrive, survive. And so, there are people who you can talk to who just want misery loves company, as they say, right? So you can talk to people who would just be like, yeah, that nigga ain't shit. Whatever.
That's all you
But at the end of and so you don't bring your issues to them. But at the end of the day, if your goal is to stay in and to not leave, then you bring those issues to the people who want to see you and that union be successful.
Yeah, and the people that understand, like, sometimes you want to vent. Sometimes you want to be like, oh, I hate this nigga, I want to divorce.
Get it off your chest.
Just get it off your chest, and they'll be like, yeah, girl. Right. Just listen, and that's it. And then you come back around, and you don't have to worry about that person bringing it up in your face or taking you literal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
family looking at you crazy.
Well,
do you feel like?
But there's not that many people that
you have to say, listen, I just want you to listen.
No, I feel like
when you bring it up to the wrong people.
You have to say that.
No, when you bring it up to the right people, they know.
They know.
Okay.
The right people know.
They gonna ask you questions, but like when you bring it to the wrong people, and you gotta qualify what you're about to offload.
Right. No. Okay. That don't offload to that person. You got to qualify what you want, what you're about to offload.
Only share your wins.
Yeah,
and even then, when they're doing that, you got to be really careful because those are the ones, right? They want your life. They want your life, and will try and sabotage your shit.
Right.
I just sit back and watch my boys. I mean, that's what I use, for example. Like, most of my friends are married, even the ones that's not as close to me. The ones back home in Beaumont, Port Arthur, like, still a lot of people are married, or outside of like one person, they got divorced. But it's still, I sat back, did what I had to do, play as long as I had to play, and learn from the game from them. And so for me, I'm like, okay, this is what I know works, and this is what I know doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I was able to take my time off of their mistakes or what they taught me and what they go through. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm looking for, because if this doesn't work, I know it's not right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at examples.
Yeah, you have a blueprint.
I'm next to examples.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they, you know, I'm next to them every single week. So whatever they go through, if I'm not hearing about it, I see it personally.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the examples.
That's a lot to be said about that, because you can either be a bad example as a husband, or you can be a good example. You know, there's so many men out here who are doing the wrong thing, right? As a married man, but if you have friends who are married and who are doing the right thing, that can be an example for you of what you want to be in the future. I think that's a really beautiful thing.
Choosing your circle is key.
It's important. Yeah.
It's a real cheat code. It's a real cheat code.
I agree. I think that's why, circle is so important in terms of the vetting process. I tell people this all the time, right? Like, you got somebody that's solid, you know what I'm saying? Or that can be solid most of the time, but if they friends trash, eventually, or they have those traits in them.
Yep. Yeah,
it just takes certain things that's going to trigger it and bring it out. So that's why you got to vet that shit.
Bubbles up. It rises to the surface.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm dating somebody, I want her to have like positive influences. Women that are in relationships, they ain't necessarily got to be married, all of them, but it's just like they have positive experiences. So that way when she coming to them for advice, they can give you some positive shit.
Yeah.
Instead of like you said earlier.
You are who you surround yourself with.
That nigga ain't shit. Get rid of him, this, that, and the third. And then it's just like, damn, like that's what you're getting from that side, even though, so yeah, nah.
And it's an uphill battle because women's friends have a lot of input in excess and influence in their lives.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
It's a huge fact. It's like an uphill battle if your woman's circle is like that. You can't win with that.
Nope. Can't.
Yeah. But you got smooth. You over there drunk.
I know, big drunk.
You over there tipsy.
I'm actually agreeing with him because
Beatbox beat his ass.
My wife don't do all that. My wife don't do all that.
1-2 punch.
You know what I'm saying?
So you lucky. Sounds like you got a real one.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you lucked up.
Come on, smooth. He about to go home.
Let us know.
I didn't luck up.
Okay. Why?
Because I told you before, I'm a great reader of people.
Okay.
I knew my wife was going to be who she was.
Okay.
Talk it.
My wife didn't know it yet.
Wait.
She didn't know it, but you saw. That's Proverbs.
She'll tell you that,
God
though.
did.
I'm saying it in a cocky way, but a lot of people on this planet aren't people aren't people like they can't see the situation outside of themselves.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't have understanding. Right? Like I'm from deep in the hood, right?
You
But
from the
all my
hood?
I'm from the hood.
Okay.
But everybody that I was really friends with, they not from that. You get what I'm saying? They're not really, they close to it, or they really removed from it.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I envied my boys' lives as far as like what I seen on the outside. With knowing them, I know situations was different.
Yeah. Life is real.
Right.
So with me, like understanding how different things work as far as like the level you come from, like your family and all these things that tie you together, I'm like, all right,
this person is what I need. I need a hustler. I need somebody that's gonna be with me no matter what. Like that don't care like what they family think or they friends think and all this type of shit. So when I found that in my wife, and that came through conversations, of course, and seeing who she was. But when the moment I seen it, I was like, I can't let this woman walk. There we go. Right, because I knew I would never find that again.
Okay. And where did you meet your wife?
I met my wife at Lamar University.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Lamar State.
So when I met her, like the moment, and when I got married, my boys was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like for real.
Oh, you were the first?
Yeah, I was the first. I got married at 21.
Oh, you was not playing no games.
No games.
Yeah, but
my boy, he got married. I said, "What?"
Wait, how long? And you've been married for 10 years, right?
I said, "You getting married?" What?
So they like,
sure?
What the fuck are you doing and all that? Right? I'm just
You
like,
going
don't
well?
worry about it. I got it.
Yes.
I got it. But to everybody else around me and around my wife, they was like, you was crazy
Right.
and all this.
Yeah.
But to see like what we put together now.
Love it.
Yeah.
You get
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
fact.
It's a beautiful thing.
Like, it's nothing but kudos.
Kudos.
Everybody else
Look,
ain't gonna
I know
see the
you live.
vision.
I ain't gonna put your
Exactly.
neighborhood out there in the
Exactly.
streets, but I know
Everybody
where
else
you
ain't gonna
live,
see
and
the
so I
vision.
know that's a huge accomplishment and a
But-
testament.
But what I will say, the only person out of us that's a people person like me is him. You get what I'm saying? Like he's in a sense an introvert. You get what I'm saying? So his vision as far as like people isn't like mine, right? Like you basically got to get cosign from somebody that he respects for him to mess with you.
Yeah, that's real.
On that note, man, we're gonna wrap Quick Hits brought to you by Beatbox up, man. Salute to the plug, man. First and foremost, at all times. You understand me? Salute to all of the Crusaders out there that been tagging us, screenshotting the beatboxes. We appreciate it. We see all of them, and we're gonna post every single one, so y'all keep doing that.
Tag the beatbox too, bitch.
Facts. Beatbox Beverages. That's at Beatbox Beverages on Instagram. Make sure that y'all tag them when y'all tag us. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate y'all. On that note, we're going to get into advice column. All right. First one is from Miss Isabel, Patreon member. Hold on. Let me give her a proper round of applause. Patreon member.
Hey, Isabel.
All right. She says, congrats on the 100K.
Yeah.
Damn me.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, man.
$1 million coming soon.
Love this
That's
for
right.
y'all.
Plaque
Claim it.
We're trying to be y'all when we grow up. Like I said.
Slick,
Y'all
y'all
can be better.
facts. About to be there in no time, goddammit. I've been a listener since the original Battle of the Sexes videos before y'all even started the pod. So proud to see how far y'all have come. I thought this would be an interesting topic for the pod. I saw this video floating on YouTube of a guy who ended the first date early because his date pulled a bottle of alcohol out of her purse at Roof Chris. Some restaurants are BYOB, but I don't think Roof Chris is.
No. They got bartenders.
He paid and left with no explanation. Was he wrong for ending the date early, leaving with no explanation, or should he have given her a second chance? For context, he is a man in his early 30s.
I don't see the video.
No,
don't even
there's
see
nothing
the
to
video.
see. There's nothing to see.
There's nothing to
He
see.
absolutely did the right thing.
God
he
damn
needed
it.
the exit stage left. There's a couple of things that I feel like go off when I hear that.
You hear that?
A, she
don't
has
e-
a substance abuse issue. B,
Damn, substance abuse.
I mean, let's
You
just
diagnosed it.
yeah.
B is bum. B is
Bum bitch.
B is for bum.
She got a substance abuse issue. She feels like she needs to be pulling out a flask or a bottle on a date.
Well,
That's
she trying
highly
to save him
problematic.
some money.
But
That's what they gonna say.
B,
trying to save him some money.
she's not it. It just ain't it. And it's
Girl.
fine. Like there are certain women, as you all have said, right? There are certain women for certain things, and she's not the one that you take the Ruth Chris on a date, on a first
Yeah.
date.
I am.
Be a good
12
I am
a.m.
She a good time. She a good time.
She when the lights come up, the lights get turned on.
Yep.
Are you trying to shoot your shot?
Midnight, 3 a.m.
midnight.
when nothing else fell through. Let me see what she on.
Yeah. I'm on my bottom dollar. Let me see.
Bottom dollar.
I'm on the way home. Should I
You know-
take this exit off 59 or
I
not?
am very particular about my dining experiences. Like if you pass the hostess stand and just go grab a seat, I'm looking
Who
at you
does
crazy.
that?
Like
Hey.
if
People
you
do
if
that?
you don't tip at least 20%, I am done.
Ooh.
Like I am very
She
particular.
ordered the firecracker shrimp. That's all she wanted.
The bang bang shrimp. The bang bang shrimp.
I'm just saying, like I am very particular about restaurant etiquette.
Damn.
So yes, I don't think that I think that was appropriate.
You know what's crazy? You know what I'm hoping that he didn't do?
I hope he didn't pay for her meal.
He did.
She wasn't worthy.
Worthy.
You got to pay for it.
No, but here's the thing. He did. If he did, I hope he did, because what he knows he ended up doing, he had a leg up. Like what she's not gonna run and do is play the narrative of, oh, this nigga he didn't pay for my food, whatever. The narrative that she's gonna have to tell is that I pulled out a flask or a bottle and this dude
paid for my food.
Paid for my food. And he never called me back. He never called me back.
That's the HR.
He took the high road. He took the high road.
He did.
Cover your tracks.
That's too high for me. But you at Ruth Chris.
Not too high.
She ate a steak that was $50.
She had two sides. She's at Ruth Chris. Let's be clear.
Oh no!
But listen,
She at Ruth Chris.
from a woman's perspective,
sizzling butter. She's at Ruth Chris.
From a woman's
We're not
perspective.
talking about Mastro's. We're not talking about.
I don't think she's giving that much
I'm
credit
just
to the
saying,
man.
Like it's a good restaurant, but it's not a great steakhouse.
She ain't. I mean, you
But
right.
it's good.
You right.
It's not. Yeah, it's
That's
not.
why. All right, so we got people on here that got real
I like
money.
I like Ruth Chris.
But I don't think a lot of women are giving
you like the
that
butter.
man
You like the
credit.
sizzling butter.
I love Ruth Chris. Like Ruth Chris is like a staple in New Orleans.
So you would do Ruth Chris over Vic and Anthony's? Here in
Vic
Houston?
and Anthony's is my favorite.
Okay, see,
but I'm just saying, but I like
So
Ruth
no.
Chris. No, I wouldn't do it over Vic and Anthony's, but I like Ruth Chris.
but it wasn't like that.
Vic and Anthony's.
Vic and Anthony's.
It was cool, but it wasn't
I like
that.
Vic and
I like Vic
Anthony's,
and
but
Anthony's.
like.
I fucks
still,
with Vic-
sometimes
I
people
fucks
ain't
with
never
Vic and
had nothing.
Anthony's.
So would you do Mastro's over Ruth Chris?
Oh, I love Mastro's.
No,
I
I do
fucks with
too. I love
Mastro's very
Mastro's
hard.
too.
But I love Ruth Chris. Like I really love Ruth Chris.
Okay.
I do. Okay.
Mastro's got those
Ruth Chris
spicy
is like
scallops,
Chili's
man.
to
Y'all
me.
make sure y'all tap into the Cajun scallops and Mastro's.
B, hit that, B.
What happened?
She said Ruth Chris is Chili's.
Ruth Chris is like chili. Come on, champagne wife. Come on, champagne wife. Come on, champagne wife.
It is.
Said it.
Like I feel like Ruth
So
Chris is like
Ruth Chris
Chili's.
is the Chili's of the steakhouses.
Of the steakhouses. That's what you're saying.
No, it's like
Yes,
a
it
place
is.
where you want to go and get something to eat real quick and like
so
you're
what
gonna
you
get
saying is- so what-
The answer is yes.
We doing dance in the Ruth Chris.
It's like a Chili's to me.
Come on, champagne wife.
Well, wait a minute. I can't let this pod go any further, right? Because again, when you say things like that, it like triggers my mind and it gets me curious, right? So hypothetically single, both of y'all single, right?
Hypothetically.
Definitely hypothetically.
And y'all are entertaining a man. What's the minimum amount of money that he has to make to even have a fucking
Why
chance?
we doing this?
I'm
You
not
trying to
doing
go to
that.
our clip?
I'm just, it was her.
You trying to go to the clip?
But I did see the clip. though.
Right.
I did see the clip.
So this is not out the norm. This is really a normal question.
It's a normal question.
Why is this a normal question?
Because it's valid.
But I did see the clip, and she had some very controversial things to say.
she had the internet upset. They were big mad at
Real
her.
bad.
Real
That's
bad.
a fact. She was talking heavy
So
on
how
that
much does he have to make?
To be in the ballpark with you.
to have a chance.
To be
Conversation.
more than me. More than me. So that has to be, you have to be making more than 200,000.
He took the headphones off.
I like that energy.
More than me.
If you up there, I have no problem
So
with
listen,
that.
so when there are people,
That's where your
when the
ballpark.
trolls were in the commentary asking, what do you bring to the table? And asking all that. Listen, I'm not going to talk on shit that I can't talk on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak on things I can't speak on. Let me be really clear. So at the end of the day, that's my situation.
Right.
I get that. Other people might have different situations. You might be making 105, and if you're making 105, no problem.
That's great.
I love that for you, and I love that in every way for you.
that's
But
for
as
you.
for me and mine's, you have to be making more than what I make. And I'm not saying that that's my number, that's what I'm making. But what I'm saying is you have to make more than what I
More
make.
than what she's making.
So what's
I like it, man.
So not
I ain't gonna
double.
lie to you. I
I'm
like
not
it.
getting into
not
this
double.
conversation.
Not double. Right? We can't afford that
I'm not getting into this conversation.
Kelly's smart.
We had a young
can't
lady.
afford that
We had a young lady a
conversation.
while back said you had to.
I'm
make
not getting
double.
into this
What's
conversation.
the minimum of man? If you were single, not in your current situation, But if you was a single woman right now,
Today.
entertaining,
Don't give me the 25-year-old answer. Today.
Today, knowing everything that I know.
Yes.
Right. Correct.
Let it rip, sis. Let it rip.
Just say a single woman.
Let
You
it
don't hurt
rip.
nobody. What would be that?
If you were single,
Yeah.
Because you got to realize you and your man situation is totally different. You
Right.
can build some
if
shit.
you were
Y'all done built.
Yes, we
Y'all
built.
done came from shit.
Yeah.
But we talking the initial guy you don't know nothing about. But what's the number he got to be making
Let it
to
rip.
be entertained?
I'm not letting it rip.
bitch, let it rip.
It's more than 200,000. That's all I'm gonna say.
She said she might break the button, nigga.
Let me get another gunshot. Jail.
Take the button off. Just take the button off.
200 ain't enough. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
I'm just saying.
All right, but
That's
hey,
fair.
look.
And again, that's a difference. That's a difference. The yin and the yang, right?
We ain't got to give no context behind it. I salute y'all for answering it. We gonna move right along.
Goddamn me.
What's the next advice
We
question?
gonna move right along.
It's the last one, huh?
Yeah, this the last one. Salute to Adrian, man. Patreon
Goddamn me.
What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
in the building.
Hope you at the sleeves.
Hey, Adrian.
Hello, Adrian.
All right, my dog says, do y'all feel that society is pushing toxicity so much that it's become the norm in today's world in terms of dating?
That's the whole question. And I'll chime in.
I do. And when I think about like Future and like his music,
He ain't toxic.
all of these reality shows. What? Say what?
Future ain't toxic.
Boy,
Future
goodbye.
ain't toxic. It's the women.
Oh my God.
Oh, the
Stop.
women
He
who
tried
bring
to-
it out in him?
No.
He tell the truth. First off, he tell the truth. Two, you know how many baby mamas and stuff
tell
he got.
Steve Harvey, I don't wanna. Like, why? But why? But why?
But
But
he-
why even do that? That's toxic.
Because she tried to
Why-
play with my dog.
why
Now,
did
come on, now, we ain't gonna do that. We not
But
gonna do
why
that.
do that?
She tried to play with my dog.
You know he got 4-5 baby mamas. So why entertain him?
That's a fact.
So who's really toxic? Is it him or is it the women?
But he was very, I mean,
That's the question of what came
accommodating,
first, the chicken or
flowers,
the egg?
roses in the bedroom,
Accommodating.
roses petals, like rose
But you
petals.
also know what type of father
I can't send you flowers.
get pregnant.
Hey, wait.
But-
Hold on. Let me ask you this directly. Right, since you said he was accommodating, flowers and nice
He
guy.
was. He was
private
being
jets and
nice.
shit and all of
Nothing
that.
wrong with that.
Right?
Gestures, making gestures.
Hypothetically speaking, you are single today. You run into a man that has
Would I say
I think
Future?
8
No.
kids by 5 different baby
No,
mamas, and
absolutely
he's
not.
very
No.
accommodating.
Making over 200,000.
He makes a
Absolutely.
million. He make a
So
million.
that's what I'm saying.
Wait, no, well, not principles. Absolutely not. And no,
But-
that's not my thing.
You see?
But
Principles get
okay,
involved.
But if you speaking, so if it's 10 women, how many women do you feel like would date a Future out of those 10?
A lot.
A lot.
Okay.
I feel like a lot.
A lot. Unfortunately.
More, 9 out of 10.
Majority, right?
A lot.
Majority, right?
Majority.
Yeah.
So it would
No,
be-
not
maybe 8 out of 10 because
I say more like 7.
Maybe
I say more than
6.
6, like 7. Yeah.
6
Say
or
7.
But that's because a lot of bitches are looking to have a come up.
Yeah.
At
that's
the end
true.
of the day.
That's true.
And so like fast money is attractive money. And if I can get shot up if I let a dude shoot me in the club, right? And like
I get
me
pregnant.
pregnant, then great. But that's not what I would say the 30% are looking for.
Yeah.
And I would love for that number to be 50%. I would love to say
you would never see.
I know, and
You would
that's
never
why I
see
say I
that.
would love. But I know the reality is 30% is
is.
probably the number. If a dude talked to me and said, "Hey, I got 8 kids, 4 baby moms,"
Yeah, I know how to treat
I'd be
a woman.
like,
I'd do
huh?
anything for you, baby.
No.
But I
all
mean-
he said I got 8 kids, 4 baby moms, but all of them taken care of. They ain't got nothing to worry about.
It's a
Nobody
no.
got nothing to
It's
worry
a no.
about.
It's a hard no.
Hard.
No, it's a hard no.
Big.
Let me tell you about me and
Would you
Nicole.
date him? Would you date him?
No,
though?
No.
You
Me
wouldn't date
and
him at all.
Nicole are of the
Take it over.
generation. Our parents were my parents 60 and in the 50s, and so I guess I can speak for you and your family as well because education was super important for your family. But
Right.
it was really all about like education.
Yes.
How are you going to show up as a woman in the world? How are you going to equip
Independent
yourself?
of a man.
Independence. Yes. Independency.
Yep.
Just accomplishment. My mom stressed that, and my sister's an attorney. She's a very successful attorney in New Orleans. And so we are of that generation.
Right.
And so, yes, again, we like nice things. We expect a lot, but we bring a lot.
Right.
And I think that's the difference. And I think
Yes.
that's our perspective,
Yeah.
right? And so whereas like 60 or 70% of the women would be intrigued in dating a guy like Future. I just don't feel like we are that pressed to lower the standards because we feel like we also bring a lot to the table. We don't need that necessarily to live and maintain our lifestyle because we can provide that for ourselves and our kids.
So it's more of a younger thing, younger woman.
It might be.
It's more of an accomplished thing. It's more of an accomplished thing.
It's more of a mindset thing.
They speaking from a
woman, she ain't got nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we're not speaking from a place from which like we can't.
I was trying to shoot him some bail.
No. But the thing is, they validated in saying that, and most platforms in this space, right, would say that money is not your money. We don't care about your money, whatever the case may be. But on our platform, we always say it's nothing wrong with the demand if you're bringing the same thing.
Yes.
Right?
And that's
so
where
don't be demanding shit and you live in...
And that's where we come from. We come from the place of, look, at what we're bringing to the table is of solid value.
That's
and what you're bringing to the table has to match.
Right.
The math has to math. And when the math doesn't math is when you ass get dogged out. But when the math maths, look,
Preach.
when the math maths, and what I'm bringing and what you're bringing are relatively equal.
Right.
And we can build together off of that.
There we go.
And that's at the end of the day what most of us are looking for. The ability to build, right? And to break the cycle and to build legacy and to take Black people from here to there.
Right.
And if we can't do that, and if women or men are looking for a quick come up, we're gonna be stuck here forever.
Yeah, we wasting each other's time.
You're wasting your time. I don't even know why Sierra did that. Like,
child,
I'm just.
Okay.
What's poppin'?
We here for what's poppin'?
Right now.
That shit got personal.
I'm just saying.
Shots fired.
I'm just saying. To me, like she's a.
But Future's a conversationalist. I believe that Future.
He has a mouthpiece.
He mind fucked her.
Oh, for sure.
Future mind fucked her.
Future is a people person.
She thought, and she walked into that relationship thinking that she was going to be the purple squirrel. She was going to be the purple squirrel, the unicorn that was going to change his ways. And at the end of the day, he did her like he did all the other ones.
Yeah.
We ain't got to get into that too, but that's another thing too. But I'm curious to know why women think that they can change the man.
They can't.
After they've seen his resume and known his track record, why do they think that they are the woman out of all these women that they didn't have? Why are they the woman that can change this man?
It's about ego.
It's a Jesus complex.
It's about ego.
It's a Jesus complex.
It's about ego. Sierra thought, okay, I'm the singer. I'm classy. I have my own. At the time,
my catalog was stronger than his.
She was showing him different things, like putting him in different circles, and she thought, okay, I'm different than all the other women that he dated, and he will find value in being with a woman like me.
Right.
That would make him change his ways. But a woman cannot make a man change his ways.
Nope.
A man has to want to change his ways. Period.
Fact.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
And I feel like
say it one more time.
A woman cannot make a man change his ways. A man has to want to do that all on his own. There's nothing that you can do as a woman to make a man change.
Big facts there. And I'll double down on that and say that at the end of the day, I really do believe that women, as we're going through our process of selecting our partners, it's important to have a strong sense of discernment and understand that, yes, you can't do that. You cannot change a man's ways. He has to want to do that for himself. But you also need to see how what you bring to the table, and you better be bringing something. You have to be bringing something. But what you bring is what you bring to the table going to complement, enhance, allow for y'all to both level up.
Right.
And it's not only financially.
No, it's
mentally,
emotionally, it's spiritually, it's financial, it's on so many levels.
Femininity.
But are y'all,
Talk that
but
talk.
it's femininity, but allowing a man to really dig deep and double click on like his masculine energy and to really be head of household. At the end of the day, women don't want to be head of household.
Right.
What we want to do is be able to be the quiet, be quiet and whisper sweet nothings in your ear and have you take that and figure out what you need to do to be able to
conquer
be
the
fruitful
world, bitch.
and multiply
Conquer
that
the
shit.
world. Right.
Like that's what women should, in my mind, should want.
Yeah.
But You know, that's not everybody. That's 30%.
We in a generation of loudness. That won't happen.
That's our perspective.
That's our perspective.
Others might think different, and we respect that. Absolutely respect that. But that's our lane. And our goal at the end of the day with our podcast is about empowering, inspiring, and trying to just motivate women to show up as the best version of themselves so that they can attract the right partner and that they can build together.
And live their best lives.
And speak from our stories, right?
And how long y'all been married again?
I've been married for 10 years.
12 years.
22 years between two people. So I'm just saying.
Look here, man. And that is a great way to put a bow on this thing, man. We're going to wrap this thing up. But before we get out of here, I just got a couple more questions for y'all specifically. Again, Champagne Wives is you know, rocking. So in terms of the goals, I want to hit the goals. Like, what do y'all see it being in 5 years?
But you got this.
I'm really passionate about this, and I know you are too. But like I said earlier, just now, we want to inspire. We want to motivate. We know there are women at various states in their lives, maybe on the other side of divorce, maybe trying to find that right person. But at the end of the day, for us, it's about inspiring, empowering women to show up as the best version of themselves and realize that, like, you don't have to lose your sense of self to be beautiful, to be fabulous, to be successful, to be all that you want to
Cater
be.
to your man.
And you don't have to lose your sense of self and still be able to cater to your man and still show up and operate in a way that helps elevate your man. So it's leaning into that soft life, leaning into that feminine energy, and realizing that when you lean in and tap into that, the eye contact you were over here making with the camera. You're like making sure all the cameras catch me. Like, see right here.
That's a fact, because she's preaching gospel.
Because this
Go ahead.
this camera right here.
But when you lean into that feminine energy, things flow, and you just got to make sure that you're doing the right thing for you. And when you focus on you, honestly, you attract what's meant for you. And so that's really what our message is. And at the end of the day, like, if we can monetize that, child, we won't be mad about that.
Absolutely not.
But we'll speak honestly about that.
But if we can help just one person,
That's
like
all that
literally,
matters.
one person, that's really all that matters. Yeah.
Damn, that is a beautiful answer.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right,
goddamn.
last question of the day. Again, people starting podcasts every day, literally. So if somebody's starting a podcast tomorrow, what kind of advice would y'all give them?
Keep going.
Don't stop.
Just don't stop.
Keep swimming, as they said in Finding Nemo.
Hey, but
That's the mom in
Tell
me.
me you have a child without
It's deep
saying
at
that
the
you have a
same time,
child. Right.
Keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Yeah, because again, to your point earlier, like it seems like it's easy. It seems like, you know, it's fun, but it's a lot of work that goes into it. And again, you know, even myself, when I sent the text message to Nicole saying we should start a podcast, that was very loose, right? I didn't understand like the implications of that. And thankfully I have a partner who we can feed off of each other. And again, when I'm just like, what are we doing? She's strong. And then when she's like, what are we doing? You know, I show up for her in my strength. And so the biggest advice that I could give to anybody who's starting a podcast is just don't stop. Keep going. And when it looks bleak, because it has looked bleak for us
beyond
many a days. Many a days. When we were stuck at like 50 followers. It looks like we were stalking literally our Instagram page, trying to figure out the algorithm for Instagram. You know, and so we haven't even scratched this we're still on the incline at this point. Like we're definitely still on the incline. And so we're just so excited about what the future brings. But if it's something that you're passionate about and that you want to do, don't stop. Just keep going.
Agreed.
Damn. Well said, man. On that note, man, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. For one, I just want to say, I'm sure I can speak for all the guys that say it's been a pleasure having y'all.
Thank you so much for having us. This was so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. On that note, before we get out of here, man, y'all shout out, you know, Instagrams and YouTubes of people to go follow specifically. I mean, we're gonna put it in the video in the description and all that, but if y'all want to just shout them out, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on Instagram at Champagne Wives Podcast. You can email us at champagnewives@gmail.com, and you can find us on YouTube. We record our videos and all the visuals for that. Champagne Wives Podcast on YouTube. And we're on Facebook too,
as well.
Champagne Wives Podcast.
Facts. And on that note, man, we gone. I would tell y'all boys to get y'all socials, but you know,
I know what it is.
y'all niggas Hollywood. niggas get Hollywood.
Are you ready for Battle of the Sexes? You look sleepy to me. Are you sleepy? Sleepy time?
Sleepy time.
I just got
I'm
one
gonna do
thing to
Battle of the
say.
Sexes and get up out of here.
For this camera right here, I got one thing to say.
What?
Don't check me, check your bank account. We good, baby. Oh, my God.
She was just there for the season.